Thank you for inviting me to bring greetings from York University in Toronto, Canada, where I hold the UNESCO chair on reorienting education towards sustainability. And my appreciation goes to Vice President Research, Extension and Training, Dr. Beltran, and the Director of Research and Development, Dr. Caguillo. I'm also happy to say that Tarlac Agricultural University is a very active member in our international network of teacher education institutions. And so thanks to the Director for External Linkages and International Affairs, Dr. Ferrer, for establishing this ongoing collaboration with our UNESCO chair. Let me begin by congratulating Tarlac Agricultural University for hosting this first Agriculture, Biosystems, and Technology Conference. This conference is extremely timely and has a wide reach, of course, through this online format. But it's your conference theme of scaling up innovative solutions for sustainable and climate-smart agricultural transformation. It is so in line with the current priorities of global academic collaboration and in synergy with other innovative and forward-looking higher education institutions. So in these greetings, I would like to touch on 4 ideas for your consideration during these next days of conference discussions. Firstly, as stated in your theme, there is a true need for transformation rather than simply managing inefficiency and so on in a hope for post-pandemic world. The 2021 the State of Food Security and Nutrition Report, published by FAO and 4 other UN agencies, found that during the pandemic in 2020, hunger shot up in both absolute and proportional terms, outpacing population growth. Almost 10% of all people are estimated to have been undernourished in 2020. More than half of people living with hunger, 418 million is the figure they quote, almost 4 times the population of the Philippines that live in Asia. And another third of those in dire hunger live in Africa. But the report goes beyond simply reporting the figures and comes up with 6 transformation pathways or solutions. One of them is scaling up climate resilience across food systems, for example, by offering smallholder farmers wide access to climate risk insurance. And they suggest forecast-based financing to enhance fiscal sustainability of farmers. It talked about intervening along supply chains to lower the cost of nutritious food, for example, by encouraging the planting of biofortified crops and making it easier for fruit and vegetable growers to access markets. Now, secondly, I suggest it is crucial to integrate this agricultural transformation within the context of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. As you know, in 2015, the world agreed to implement the 2030 Agenda with 17 Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs. Now, these SDGs include addressing ending hunger through sustainable agriculture. So if we picture sustainable agriculture with smart technologies and so on as an important contribution within the SDG movement, and draw connections and relationships to many other goals such as poverty, hunger, health and well-being, inequities, climate change, biodiversity, etc. We can align ourselves within other national and local transformational strategies. Also, as education has been identified by the UN General Assembly as the key enabler of achieving all the SDGs, universities such as Tarlac can contribute the full potential of their teaching, research, and community service. Now, thirdly, while there's a need to include the latest research and development and technology and so on in the transformation process, I suggest there is still a need to respect and learn from the centuries of experience of small-scale farmers and indigenous peoples their traditional ecological knowledge, their culture, and their wisdom. Rural and indigenous communities hold valuable knowledge of neglected and underutilized plant species that are adapted to local environments and can contribute to providing more diverse and nutritious diets. As well, they have often the resilience to climate change and other environmental shocks. Universities, through our students and research faculty, are well positioned to engage with these communities and to serve them. Fourth and lastly, let's consider the role of higher education itself. While agriculture is a major contributor to climate change, it is also a victim of its effects, such as natural resource degradation, temperature increases, changes in precipitation patterns, and extreme weather events. Our graduates, yes, they need the latest knowledge and skill, but they also need critical thinking and questioning skills, along with the willingness to engage and to act for the common good. As the shapers of these graduates, higher education has a responsibility for what is taught, what is researched, and who ultimately benefits from the services of the university. In closing, globally, only about 7 or 8% of the world's population graduate from universities. But those graduates will become 70 to 80% of those who will shape the future of the planet. They'll become the political leaders, the public and private sector leaders, the religious leaders, the cultural influencers such as writers, painters, artists, and other performers. Therefore, there is also an overarching responsibility for universities to consider their hidden curriculum. That overall university culture that will graduate global citizens, ones who reflect on their purpose in life and willingly assume responsibility to contribute to the well-being of all. Thank you again for this opportunity to bring greetings, and I really wish you well with this important conference. Thank you.